You got guys that punch hard and hit hard, and you got guys that come out and win a few rounds. But nothing really was tough.
Okay, a lot of people are saying that Usyk heavyweight run isn't a lot of fighters at heavyweight, of course, because he only fought, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fighters at heavyweight.
So again, I think Oleksandr Usyk is an exceptional fighter, but you need to match him with someone that can actually match his work rate. Okay, and for me, Andrei Kabiel can match his work rate. He's going to go to the body. He's going to follow a game plan.
Floyd Mayweather thinks boxing fans are too quick to hand out all-time great status without considering the bigger picture. He's not convinced that Oleksandr Usyk deserves the level of praise he's been receiving. Mayweather, never shy about defending his own legacy, flatly states, "No fighter before or after me is better," and that includes Oleksandr Usyk. While many fans hail Usyk as a boxing legend, Floyd doesn't see it that way. He acknowledges Usyk's skills, but insists his own accomplishments are in a different league. Mayweather points to his undefeated record, historic success across multiple weight classes, and years of
At the end of the day, I'll let you know. There's no fighter that will ever be better than me. There's no fighter that wasn't better than me before me or after me or when I'm long gone. I'm the best.
critics like showbiz. The adult offer a sharp counterpoint to the rising acclaim for Oleksandr Usyk. While many celebrate Usyk as an all-time great for his success in the heavyweight division, showbiz questions whether his resume truly backs that up. His critique centers on the quality of opposition. If Usyk's victories came against fighters who weren't elite or past their prime, the significance of those wins is diminished. Aside from Tyson Fury, often cited as a legitimate top-tier opponent, most of Usyk's challengers
Saying that Usyk heavyweight run isn't a lot of fighters at heavyweight, of course, because he only fought, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fighters at heavyweight. But they saying that it's full of quality, right? I want you to understand, full of quality. Witherspoon isn't an all-time great heavyweight. His brother, Tim Witherspoon, you could argue. But Chance Witherspoon, no. Derek Chisora is not an all-time great heavyweight. He's not. He's a fantastic competitor, but if you look at who he fought and look at who he lost to, Chisora is not an all-time great heavyweight. He's not. Dubois is not yet an all-time great heavyweight. Look at who he fought, who he struggled with, who he lost to. Dubois is not an all-time great heavyweight. So we're left with, when you say quality, we're left with Tyson the Gypsy King Fury and Anthony A.J. Joshua. Now, if you guys think that A.J. is an all-time great heavyweight, you can. I can understand that. I definitely can. There's an argument to be made. But Anthony Joshua, when you think about him and a lot of ops from other great heavyweights, Anthony Joshua lost to the likes of Ruiz, been knocked out by Ruiz, was knocked out by Dubois. Anthony Joshua, I'm not sure if you would consider him an all-time great heavyweight, but you can make an argument. Tyson Fury definitely can. So beating Tyson Fury twice is really Usyk's claim to fame. It's his thing.
Another perspective from analysts is that Oleksandr Usyk's brilliance is better recognized through the lens of pound-for-pound rankings rather than as part of an all-time heavyweight legacy. They view him as a master technician, praised for his footwork, defensive skill, and exceptional ring IQ, qualities that make him a modern great. Still, they stop short of placing him among the legendary heavyweights of history. In their view, Usyk's greatness stems more from his unique style and adaptability than from victories over historically elite opponents. As such, while he's firmly among today's top active fighters, his place among boxing's...
But let's talk about Usyk. His performance was, okay, that's number one. And many of you say, well, Usyk is a top 10 all-time great heavyweight. I don't agree. Because Usyk has only had like 7 heavyweight fights. is very stacked within those 7 fights. But really, it's hard to put him past people who's had 30 plus, 40 plus fights and just had a career, a great all-time career at heavyweight. But what I can say is that Oleksandr Usyk is one of the greatest fighters, pound for pound, ever. And I put him on my Mount Rushmore today. So I don't have him as an all-time great heavyweight, but I do have him as an all-time great pound for pound fighter. And where do I put him there? Pretty damn high.
Critics argue that many of Oleksandr Usyk's opponents fell short, not because he was untouchable, but because they failed to make full use of their own abilities. Some faced him more than once, yet still couldn't adapt. Analysts have suggested that fighters like Michael Hunter or even Joe Joyce, with stronger ring awareness and sharper strategy, might have posed a more serious challenge. One of the more pointed observations is that heavyweights capable of matching Usyk's movement and timing, a skill set rarely trained for in the division, would create a far more competitive fight. Instead,
a bit harsh on Daniel Dubois after the fight, and I actually think I'm, being fair in being a bit harsh on him. I think Daniel Dubois is an exceptional fighter, but there is something, where it's a confidence thing. And I think Oleksandr Usyk, give him a lot of credit. His jab looked exceptional on Saturday, and really that first, jab that landed on Daniel Dubois, it snapped his head back, and it was a powerful jab. It actually reminded me of Artur Beterbiev's jab when it's, when he really snaps it, and it was obviously a very powerful shot. So I think Daniel Dubois, I think he was confused by Usyk, and I think, he just looked so discouraged to me. Again, take nothing away from Oleksandr Usyk. I thought it was an exceptional performance. And to be honest, he really didn't even get out of second gear. And he didn't even need to. Now, obviously, there's a lot of, talk about what he's going to do next. In my opinion, really, there's only one fight that I would actually want to see. For me, that's Adrian Caballel. I think Adrian Caballel is someone that, number one, knows how to go to the body. I think if Oleksandr Usyk does have a weakness, it is the body. I think Adrian Caballel can follow a disciplined game plan. I think he's had a good string of wins, and I think his stamina is very good as well. I think Oleksandr Usyk is, winning a lot of these fights based on his speed, his stamina, and his footwork. These big heavyweights like Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, they cannot live with the pace that Usyk is setting. I mean, Daniel Dubois was knackered after 3 rounds in that fight. Okay, so they can't live with the pace. So again, I think Oleksandr Usyk is an exceptional fighter, but you need to match him with someone that can actually match his work rate. Okay, and for me, Adrian Caballel can match his work rate. He's going to go to the body. He's going to follow a game plan.
Showbiz stresses that it's too soon to place Oleksandr Usyk alongside legends like Muhammad Ali and Evander Holyfield. In his view, Usyk's resume isn't yet strong enough to earn him a seat at that elite table. History's greatest fighters, he argues, are defined not just by skill, but by the caliber of opposition they conquered. According to Showbiz, even Usyk's top 5 victories wouldn't make the cut for the best 5 on Ali's or Holyfield's records. The comparison highlights a key distinction. There's a difference between being the best of your era and being one of the best of all time.